Stand for the pledge. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, item number 1.
Ms. Berryman? While Ms. Berryman is preparing to share with us our second budget hearing, I'd like to take this opportunity just to brag on her and her team. And she's been a great addition to our Coleman County team, and we're thankful for you, and we appreciate you very much.
Thank you, and I'm really enjoying it. I've told them all, they've just treated me like I've been here all along, so it's been really nice just getting to meet everybody and learning, and I'm really enjoying it. So thank y'all for everything.
She does a great job.
Try to make it short and sweet. I'll just kind of hit some of the high points of some things we changed since the last one, because we got a few more allocations in that I had to budget in there, and then just making sure I had all the people placed where they needed to. So we'll hit that, but you've got the packet. This is all new packet for it's the new reports that show everything that I've changed. So these are the total amounts. The pages are all the same. It's just got new numbers on some of them. But again, the second page is just the one-page budget exhibit. Then there's some definitions in there, some things just to explain kind of how it's laid out. And then you'll get on back, and this is where it really starts talking about our units that we earn. The first one you see is actually for the entire system. This is our system-wide, tells how many units we have, how many units we earn from the state, from teachers, principals, counselors, librarians, the dollar amount for the entire, that the state's sending us. At the bottom, it tells how many we have that are state-earned, how many are other state funded, how many are federal funded, and how many are local funded. And this does this for all teachers, admin, librarians, counselors, and support. So this is the first page for the whole system that you'll find in your packet. After that, it's just the detailed exhibit report. It just shows details for the whole system of every line item we're spending. And you go on back a few pages and you'll get to the P reports for each school. Each school has their own sheet, just like the summary for the whole state. And on each school, it does the same thing. It tells up here how many each school earned, and then down at the bottom is how many each one has. And you'll notice the last column is how many local units we have for that. But that's each school has that, so you can compare what we earn to actually what we have at that location. And there's one for each school, and then the detailed report behind it. And then the main thing I want to go over, like I said, is just touch some high points on the budget. This is the fiscal year 24 budget. It'll begin October 1st. And with this year, we've got some of the same projects that are ongoing. Most of these are the same ones, the major projects. We've got a lot of other little ones going on, but these are the main ones. We have 5 funds that show up on our financial statements. The main ones I want to talk about is the general fund, because that's our operations. The special revenue fund is our federal programs and child nutrition, local school accounts, those kinds of things. So most of those are really restricted. Most of what we can spend up here comes out of the general fund. Debt service is where we put our funds to make our debt payments. Capital projects is where we've got the money that, like the bond proceeds and those kind of things that are there for capital projects. And then the fiduciary funds include both our trust that we have for the land that was sold, the Section 16 Land Trust, and it has some other funds there like non-public accounts at the local schools. Our total general fund revenue budgeted for this year is 103 million. That's up a little from the last one I had. I think it was just a little over 100 million last time. The difference are a few extra allocations that I got in after the last budget hearing, so I went back and added those along with the expenses that went with those. Some of those were, we got some A&T money in that I knew we were going to get, so I budgeted it. And just a few ARI, the reading coaches, and some of those things that we didn't have when I did the last one, so I've added those to it. Our major local revenues that we have budgeted is 28 million. As you can see of that, I can't see my screen here, it's too small. Property tax is 34% of our local tax. Sales tax is 65%. That's our main parts of it. The other tax includes things like helping school tags and revenue in lieu of, and those kinds of things. That's the kind of taxes that come in it. It's not a big part. As you can see, most of it is our sales tax. And these budget amounts I've got on here are slightly above where we had last year, where we budgeted last year, but they're pretty much where we are of what we've collected to date this year. So I tried to be conservative and not budget too high, because I'd rather get more at the end than what I had thought than have to tell you we didn't get as much. So I try to be conservative in budgeted revenues. This just shows our total state funds that we're getting. As you can see, this shows from the foundation, nurses program, technology, career tech, at-risk, transportation, fleet renewal, and capital purchase. That shows the total amount that the state has calculated that we need to run these programs. The bottom, the local match funds, is our match that we have to pay. So we have to put in $7.6 million of our ad valorem tax to match the foundation program. So our total foundation program cost is $82 million, but of that, $8 million we fund, and the remainder comes from the state. Our total general fund expenditures we have budgeted is $99 million. That does not include what we may have to transfer out, say for debt service or transfer out to the schools. That's strictly what we're spending is the $99 million. And as you can tell, most of it, 62% is salaries, and when you add in the 21% for benefits, over 80% of our expenses are salaries and benefits. The half-cent sales tax, we budgeted it right around $5.7 million this year. It's a little more than last year, but I tried to keep it fairly consistent too. Of that, about 20% goes to the schools, and then we've spread some out, 20% to facilities and 20% to curriculum instruction, and then 40% to technology. Each of the 20% is a little over $1 million, and then the technology was right at $2 million. So we've got those budgeted in here for different items, whether it be software subscriptions or whatever they need, but the money budgeted for the schools will be cut and sent to the schools to be spent in their sales tax fund. Expenditures by type, as you see here, this is for the overall complete budget. This is everything, not just the general fund. So this includes even our federal salaries and those kinds of things. This is not just the general fund. And that's still, as you can tell, salaries and benefits is 65%, and then we've got other things from purchase services at 10% and supplies at 9%. The percentage for salaries and benefits is a little lower when you look at federal programs because they don't use as much of theirs for salaries. A lot of it's used for other things they need too. This is the dollar amount of federal funds we've been allocated for this year, and all of these amounts are included in that special revenue fund, as I mentioned. And all of these are budgeted revenue equal expenses, so they're all budgeted in out because they have to spend it all in the year they get it, unless they have a small amount for a carryover. The ESSER 3 that's down there, this will be the last year for our budget on ESSER 3. It ends September 30th of 24. So those amounts that are on there that are budgeted is the amount that's remaining of our ESSER funds, or that we're expecting to be remaining at the end of this year for us to use next year. This is just for the personnel by source of funds. This just tells, it's what's on that one report I showed you for the entire system that tells how many state-earned units we have and so forth. So as you can see, we have 634.9 state-earned units. And I failed to mention that a while ago. I don't have that one here with me, but our ADM was up slightly this year, and because of that, we earned a couple of extra units. So that number's a little higher than what it was last year, but the higher our ADM goes, the more units we have, so we're better off. But as you can tell there, like I said, state earned is 634.9. Other state units, now the other state units of the support of 278 includes everything else. That may include nurses and secretaries and bookkeepers and custodians and everything else. So that's why that 278's there. That's that big number. And it could include bus drivers and all too. And then the other items that are paid with federal, local for a total of 1,196 units. And no, we don't have a half a person working for us. That half a person is like a part-time, because if we have a part-time, we put part-time in as a half a unit instead of a full unit. So that's why it shows up there as a half a unit. And then this is just an overall summary based on that one page. As you can see, based on the general fund, we have budgeted to start the year with around $27 million, increased revenue over expenses for the year of $1.9 million to end the year with $29 million. And then the others, like I said, special revenue will be our federal funds, and most of the fund balance left in that special revenue fund are either going to be like E-rate funds, which we may get back, or the child nutrition program. And then the debt service and capital projects are just monies that are there for debt service and capital projects. Any questions on any of it?
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank y'all. If you have any questions, let me know.
Good job. Thank you very much.
Do we have to vote on that?
No, we don't. Oh, I'm sorry. I guess we do. So I recommend the approval of the final budget for the 23-24 school year.
You heard Dr. Barnett's recommendation. Do I have a motion?
So be it.
Second? Any discussion? All in favor, yes?
Yes.
Any opposed, no? Motion passed. Item number 2.
I recommend the approval of the August 17th board minutes.
You heard Dr. Barnett's recommendation. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, yes?
Yes.
Any opposed, no? Motion passes. Items 3 through 10.
I recommend the approval of personnel items 3 through 10.
You heard Dr. Barnett's recommendation. Do I have a motion?
So be it.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, yes?
Yes.
Any opposed, no? Motion passes.
At this time, if we have anyone new to our school system, I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself, and you're welcome to share anything you'd like to share with us. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else here tonight? Yep. Thank you.
And I am moving in the morning time, I'm moving to the central office to help with the instructional technology. So if you need any help with the technology, I'm helping tie with rooms, and that's a big hit right now. So I'll be able to train anybody that needs it. So, but I am so pumped. I got my first day today, got to do it, and I'll have a blast. So hit me up.
Thank you. All right. I think that's
That's it.
everybody.
All right, items 11 through 25.
I recommend the approval of school request items 11 through 25.
You heard Dr. Barnett's recommendation. Do I have a motion? Second?
Second.
Carrie? I'm going to let the record show that I abstained from item number 22. Okay, any discussion? All in favor, yes?
Yes.
Any opposed, no. Motion passed. Item number 26.
I recommend the approval of the federal programs department items listed in number 26.
You heard Dr. Barnett's recommendation. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Does anybody have any questions about that item?
Second.
Apparently, there need to be some discussion on this.
Do there need to be some discussion? This particular person, she works She works for our federal programs department, but she also serves as our bilingual translator after hours and on weekends and things. And we've done that for a long time.
All in favor, yes?
Yes.
Any opposed, no? Motion passed. Item number 27.
I recommend the approval of the Child Nutrition Department, item number 27.
You heard Dr. Barnett's recommendation. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second? You might need to bring some caffeine in here tonight. Any discussion? All in favor, yes?
Yes.
Any opposed, no? Motion passed. Item number 28.
I recommend the approval of the Transportation Department, item number 28. And what that is, gentlemen, just so that's where we're surplusing those older buses.
All right, you heard Dr. Barnett's recommendation. Do I have a motion?
Thank you.
Any discussion? All in favor, yes?
Yes.
Any opposed, no? Motion passed. Item 29 and 30.
Items number 29 and 30 is the attached list that you all have. I recommend the approval of the athletic and academic supplement for our educators, item number 29 and 30.
You heard Dr. Barnett's recommendation. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Y'all know I got somewhere to go tonight, don't you? Any discussion? All in favor, yes?
Yes.
Any opposed, no? Motion's passed. Item number 31.
So item number 31 is so that we can submit applications to these programs to get our federal program funds. I recommend the approval for the superintendent to submit these applications for the various programs for the 23-24 school year that are listed in item number 31.
You heard Dr. Barnett's recommendation. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you.
Any discussion? All in favor, yes?
Yes.
Any opposed, no? Motion passed. Items 32 and 33.
I recommend the approval of the financial items in 32 and 33.
You heard Dr. Barnett's recommendation. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second? Any discussion? All in favor, yes?
Yes.
Any opposed, no? Motion passed. Item number 34.
I recommend the approval of the maintenance department items listed in 34.
You heard Dr. Barnett's recommendation. Do I have a motion? Any discussion? All in favor, yes?
Yes.
Any opposed, no? Motion passed. Item number 35.
I recommend the approval of the capital plan minutes and the plan as proposed in item number 35. Let me say this before we even have a recommendation or anything. We have to approve a plan at the beginning of the year so we can submit it to the state. We can change that plan throughout the year. It's not an issue to add stuff or take stuff off that plan. So let's be really
Let's go
clear
turn
on that.
something in.
Yes, I do have to get something turned in to them.
Okay. You heard Dr. Barnett's recommendation. Do I have a motion? Any discussion? All in favor, yes?
Yes.
Any opposed, no? Motion passed. Item 36, Superintendent's Report.
This past week, we just passed our midway point for the first 9 weeks, so the progress reports are going home. Also, we have fall break coming up, October the 9th and October the 10th. And I know our teachers and our students are going to be very excited about that.
Okay, before we adjourn, our next regular meeting will be Thursday, October the 13th of 2023, work sessions at 3:30, and the meeting immediately following our work session. 37 is adjournment. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
All right. All in favor, yes?
Yes.
Any opposed, no? This meeting is adjourned.
Thank you for attending tonight.